We are going to talk about painting a simple cloud from scratch in Procreate using just two default Procreate brushes. In my case, I took a flat brush that can be found under the painting section and a round soft brush. Look for it at Procreate Library Airbrush. Everything I will discuss further here can be used in any program for digital painting, well, in Photoshop for sure. This is going to be a series of videos about painting nature. I will simplify the painting process for you, as I believe painting clouds will be quite meditative process, and it's relatively easy even for a complete beginner. Here you will find few hacks and general mindset for a successful cloud painting. My name is Lydia and welcome to my channel. So pour yourself a beverage of your choice and let's dive into it. Let's start with a new canvas. I use a big format. In my case, I have chosen 3500 by 5000 pixels canvas size. This format allows you to get a printable version of your drawing in a relatively big size. It's A3, by the way. It gives you a chance to work on details on late stages of your painting. The brushes we are using are all default and in 100% opacity. Please don't reduce it. As always, we need to work starting with the big generic shapes and simplifying their complicated form to a simple geometrical one. Try to think of your cloud as a gathering of spheres and ovals. It will help you to build a believable 3D object on a 2D surface. We may start with a line art first or use a second approach. It's a lasso tool. I'll go with the lasso tool today. Make a random selection with the lasso tool and don't worry about the initial prettiness of the shape. We will fix it later with brushes. And fill your form with a neutral gray just by choosing color on a color palette and simply dragging it onto your selection. Don't really bother with the big color palette. Take three main colors for light, shadow and mid-tone. Everything else you will obtain by using these three directly on your canvas. Let's create a new layer under the cloud one. It's going to be our background. We need it to achieve a good contrast and a shining effect of the lighted areas. Let's fill it with blue color. Now I want to add some color variation to the background, so we will gain some depth. There are two ways to do it. The first one is usage of a soft brush of a bigger size. It can be easily found under the airbrushing area, or a gradient. I'll go with a gradient here, so let's go into the menu and find gradients there. I want the sky colors to change from darker and more saturated blue to lighter and brighter colors. From time to time, I will be fixing the form of the initial cloud and add additional details. If you are interested in a question how to search for an interesting form of your concepts, check video on painting rocks. I mentioned a trick you may use there. Don't forget to open an additional window with reference image and choose your drawing as a source. This tiny window helps control major shapes, general lights, and general shadows. Traditional artists take few steps back to see the whole picture and check the values. Digital artists may use this window for the same purposes. Another useful window is a color wheel. It makes the palette usage easier and the round form assists with the color choosing, since you may see the opposite colors. Let's start painting the form. Put an alpha lock mode on your cloud layer and define the lighted areas and a place for shadows. Here I'm using rather grayish colors, but we will change it a bit later with an additional layer clipping mask filled with blue in overlay mode. Let's work on form here. From time to time, I use the lasso tool again to work with the large lighted and dark areas. I want to make our background a bit more realistic and interesting. So, on a new layer above the existing sky layer, I add light brush strokes with a soft brush of a larger size. Some areas I erase with the flat brush, so it creates a sharp edge here and there. When I'm happy with the result, I merge down the layers. As I mentioned in the previous video, try not to make a lot of layers, keep it simple. If you are adding some elements you are not sure about, make the changes on a new layer and merge down later. When the general shape is ready, let's work on details. The main trap here is diving into the small parts and the chance of losing control over the main values, such as the main light and the main shadow. So keep an eye on your little window with your own image as a reference. Here I add more details and fixes into the initial form of the cloud to make it more visually interesting, and change the sky color by adding a deeper blue color with a soft brush, as I want the lighted areas to shine brighter. Here and there I draw light beams that shine through the clouds and sharp small forms for lighted areas, like if it was a sphere there. Always bear in mind that you are drawing a peculiar combination of spheres, diluted and blurred in some areas. So somewhere we need soft blurred transition in color and somewhere a sharp edge. I fix the form of the cloud again, as I saw a lot of repetitive elements here, and it is something we usually want to avoid. I create a sharp contrast edge for the upper part of the cloud. It's going to be a focal point of the illustration, so let's make a lot of contrast here. I didn't aim for complete realism here, so the cloud is a bit cartoonish and fluffy. If you are looking for a more realistic appearance, I suggest to use some real life reference photos. I hope this video was helpful for you. Stay tuned for more tutorials and time-lapse drawings. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, hug that subscribe button and see you in my next one. Cheers!